Hey everyone, welcome to yet another edition of Friday Nights with Warikoo. It's Friday night, the week's just gotten over. This is where we discuss questions that may not have specific answers, but it's healthy to have a conversation, to have a debate. I've learned a lot in the last, I think, 8 or 9 episodes of Friday Nights where you've just thrown questions and your responses at me, and I think the engagement has been really fulfilling. So I love what we have going on. And for today, I wanted to talk about something that we see every day in every aspect of life, which is when we're meant to do something. Let's say we're given a task, or we signed up for a task, or we promised for doing something, and we, for whatever reasons, are unable to do it. When we're sharing the fact that we were unable to do something, we almost immediately follow it up with an excuse. We're like, oh, I didn't do this because, oh, I was meant to get this done, but, oh, I came in late, but you know what, there was too much of traffic. I am not at my best because I had a really late night yesterday. I wanted to call you, but I just got busy with so many meetings. We're always following up the explanation for why we didn't do something with an excuse of why we were in that spot. And the question, as crazy as it may sound, is why do we come up with excuses? Why do we as individuals, as humans, come up with excuses? What is the need for us to justify why we couldn't get something done? Because I would imagine the fact that we didn't get something done, the fact that we couldn't make our way through a task, a promise, something which we had committed to, is enough for us to just acknowledge that fact and then strive to getting it done. So I would much rather follow up the admission that I can't or I haven't done something with a plan on how to get it done. But it's amazing how we follow it up instead with an excuse. It's almost like posturing. It's like we want to tell people that we are actually good, that we meant well, that we are not that bad that you think we are. We're not as foolish or lazy as you think or you might think we are. It's almost something in our brain, something in our system is telling us that we need to protect ourselves from the image that the person is forming of us because we didn't do something. And that creates this rabbit hole of questions, because why do we care about what someone else is feeling or thinking about us? Because the reality is we didn't do something, so they already possibly have an opinion, and it's not going to become any better if you come up with an excuse. I've thought about this a lot, and of course there are deeper questions around why do we always portray ourselves a certain fashion? Why do we want to sound smart almost always in front of other people? Why do we want to pretend that we are not who we are, but we are what we think the other person will like? And there are different reasons for that. I think there are different reasons that can be explained, but excuses is something that fascinates me. Because imagine, and now think about this, how much of our effort do we actually devote to coming up with those excuses, to actually concocting what should be the reason we state for not doing something that we should have done, or we ought to have done in the first place. And then this entire loop of what is that we are telling the other person. That just because I have an excuse, it suddenly is okay for not having done what was meant to be done. It's almost as if the excuse completes the gap for not doing something, when we know that's not the truth. It's not the truth. An excuse can never fill up for the fact that something wasn't done, and yet we state them. So my question, and I don't know how many of you have thought about this, but it's a very fundamental first principle question. What is the basic need for us to come up with an excuse when we haven't done something that we were supposed to do? What is it we're trying to achieve? What is it that we're trying to get to? And if it's about a certain image that we want to create in the person opposite to us, then the follow-up question is, do we really think that an image is created because of an excuse? Because it's quite likely that the image was created because of the fact that we didn't do something as against the excuse that we provided. Think about it. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear from you. Until then, next Friday, I'll see you all. Have a good weekend.